Breaking the world record in the 100-meter dash is probably the biggest accomplishment that you can ever have in track and field. It's one of the few records that people actually know about. They know who broke it, and they can probably tell you where they were when it happened. For the record, it actually happened more than once with the same guy. I don't even need to say his name right now. But to be honest with you, I had no plans on talking about it at all this week. But that was also until Fred Kerley said what he said on X, formerly known as Twitter. The exact words he said, and I quote, "Our world record next time I touch the 100 meter." And he said that on May 14, 2024, because we're going to hold him to it. When Anderson Emerald of the final leg first broke the news to me, I had two thoughts. One is that Fred Kerley must know something that the rest of us have no idea about. And the other is that Fred Kerley is clearly delusional. I've said before that track and field right now is somewhere in between boxing and the UFC. Both of those are sports where the athletes have to hype up the event itself, because if they don't, nobody's really going to tune in. So maybe that's what Fred Kerley is doing. But after taking a moment to collect myself, I decided that I might as well take what he said seriously. Because after all, Fred Kerley is not just any sprinter. He is a world champion in the 100-meter dash. And he also has an Olympic medal. But saying just that is not the entire story. So let's have a real conversation about Fred Kerley and the 100-meter dash world record. Because if anybody was going to say something like this, it might as well be him. But I can't legitimately address Fred's ability to break the record without talking about the man who already holds it right now. Usain Bolt. Yes, we all know it was him. He stands out for a lot of reasons, but I'm going to put my coach hat on for the moment because casual fans can figure out that he's 6'5" and he's running incredibly fast. The assumption is because he's tall, he's just clearly going to be way better than everybody else. But that is not 100% of true. Usain Bolt was the first tall sprinter that we had ever seen on the world stage who could figure out how to get through the first 40 to 50 meters of a 100-meter dash and still be with the field. I'm gonna say something controversial, but hey, I believe these are the facts. We've had other sprinters who were tall, 6'2", 6'3", or even close to 6'5", who could run almost as fast as Bolt at top speed, if not as fast. They just didn't figure out how to get into the race to begin with, at least at the first 40 to 50. Whether or not you realize it, Bolt was originally a 400-meter runner, but by the time we noticed him as a pro, he was running the 200-meter dash in the Olympics in 2004. And by the time we were actually paying attention, he was running the 100-meter dash. He broke the world record in the month of May in 2008. Keep that in mind, because when Fred Kerley says he's going to break it, he said it basically 2 weeks off from the anniversary of when Bolt broke the record. And the truth is that from that point on the calendar, May 31st, 2008, the rest of the world was playing catch up to Usain Bolt in the 100-meter dash. We just didn't really pay attention, at least beyond the track world, until he did it in the Olympics later that year. What I'm trying to say is that Bolt was an amazing physical specimen who started off in the 400, eventually found his way to the 100, and proved that he was legit in that event. Like, historically legit, almost immediately thereafter. For the record, that is kind of what Fred Kerley actually is. But if you're new here, I have to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best high school track and field recruits in the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comments section because I try to read them all. You don't have to believe me just yet because I'm going to walk you through it very quickly. But as far as I'm concerned, Fred Kerley has been clearly underachieving for the majority of his professional career. And that is saying a lot for a man who is a world champion in the 100-meter dash. And apparently Fred agrees with me if I'm allowed to judge him off of his tweet. But when Fred first started in the sport, he was a 400-meter runner. All the way through his NCAA career, he never ran a 100 competitively. Not even once. Regardless, he won championships at that level. And then went to the World Championships. He got a bronze medal. And he's broken 44 seconds in the 400-meter dash. At that time, we were talking about Fred Kerley and world records. But we were talking about it in terms of the 400, not the 100. Heading into the last Olympics, he said he was going to run the 100-meter dash, and we all thought that he was crazy. But he actually knew something that we did not. He goes out, makes the Olympic team, and then, in the final of the Olympics, gets the silver medal. That proves that there are moments when Fred says something that only sounds crazy because we are not him. He may not be 6'5", but he is 6'3", with a build that looks more like it belongs in the NFL than it does on an outdoor track. From that point on, he came back and won the world championship in the 100-meter dash and ran 9.7 multiple times that year to prove that he is really legit. The only problem with the story that I'm telling is that from 2023 till now, Fred Kerley hasn't looked like that sprinter because that guy did look like he had a shot to at least talk about the world record, which is what he's still doing. I know that track and field fans have amnesia, so because he didn't make the 100-meter final in 2023, and in 2024, he hasn't put down a legitimately fast time yet. Remember, we're talking about how we see the pros, because if you don't run 9.8 seconds or faster, it ain't legitimately fast when we're talking about winning at the highest levels. But the coach in me also knows that right about now on the calendar, Fred is probably finishing up some of the hardest training that he's ever going to go through during an Olympic year. What that means is his body is about to peak, able to start showing us what it's actually capable of. And that is from an athlete who's already proven that he's capable of being the fastest man in the world. So I honestly can't tell you right now whether or not he's going to pull it off. But to put myself on the record, no, I'm not that confident that Fred Kerley is going to break the world record in his next race. But what I am confident about is that if any sprinter in the game right now is going to have a real conversation about breaking the world record in the month of May, Fred Kerley is about the best name you could come up with. When he first told us that he was going to run the 100, I was in the camp that thought that he might be crazy. And then he went out and proved that he's one of 3 men in world history to break 44 seconds in the 400, 20 seconds in the 200, and 10 seconds in the 100. And then he ran out to become the fastest man in the world, both on the clock and in the world championship meet, with the gold medal to prove it. So what I'm trying to say right now is that I'm not betting against Fred Kerley, even if I'm not yet bold enough to put all my money on him, because he has proven me wrong once before. SCA track and field gear is here. Fast is a lifestyle, and what you wear should reflect that. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop, or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.